Okay, now that we've been introduced to the shell, let's start looking at some of the commands we can use in the shell. And there's many commands that you'll be introduced to throughout this class. First, we're going to look at, well, how do we turn this thing off? And there's a number of different ways we can shut down the system from the command line. We could actually just send it the Halt command, which will shut it down. I'm not going to press this because it'll just have to reboot, and that takes way too much time. So Halt will halt the system. You can also use the power off command to power off the system. They're all pretty much doing the same thing here. And there is the ability to pass an init state to it. So I can say init 0, which will actually shut down the system. We learn more about init and the various run levels we go through. So that's run level 0 that we're looking at here right now, and I type that, which means shut the system down. And we also have the shutdown command. And now the shutdown command is kind of interesting in that we can actually say the system will shut down at this time, 10 minutes from now, a particular time in the day, 8 o'clock tonight. And we can pass messages to users to let them know that the system will shut down. So if I wanted to, I could type this command right here and send a nice little message. All right, send a little message to our users, press enter, and we can see that it actually comes back and says the system is going down in 10 minutes. Have a nice day. Now this is passed to everybody who's logged into the system, and this, once again, is very different than in a Windows OS X environment. This is a server environment. Linux can be a desktop, Linux can be a server, Linux can be whatever you want it to be. And that means we can have, since it is server capable, it can have multiple users logging in by default. As a matter of fact, I have a couple of other users logged in here, and I'm going to flip out to see if they got the message. So let's go Control-Alt-F2. And of course, my thing gets a little wacky here. There it goes. All right, back again. And sure enough, we can see who was logged in here. Mary was logged in on this terminal, and Mary's gotten the message that it's going down in 10 minutes. Excellent. So Control-Alt-F1, bring me back to my GUI. For some reason it flips over here when I do that. I don't know why. And here we're back. We should get rid of that message in a second. There you go. All right, so let's just maximize this. And we can stop this. So literally in 10 minutes, this box is going down. And I don't want that to happen. I can issue the Shutdown-C command to cancel it, or I can press a keyboard shortcut, Control-C. So the Control key plus the C key will actually cancel that shutdown command. And that Control-C is something you'll be using a lot in the class, because we constantly have things going, and then we realize we don't want that thing to actually continue, and we break out of it with that key sequence and stop that particular service or process that's happening from continuing. Now, there are times we just want to reboot our computer, and there's a couple of different ways you can do that too. I'll press Control-L. I can just type reboot, and that will restart the computer. It's going to shut it down and get it to come back up again. Or I can pass that init command, which is init 6. Init 6, and you can actually see these if you want to. Less is a pager. We'll be looking at pagers also. So less init tab. And I'll go down the bottom, and here are all the different run levels. And I only bring this up because there's 0, and it runs the halt, and there's 6, and it runs the reboot. So init 0 shuts the system down. Init 6 reboots the computer. So that's a couple of different ways we can power off or restart our machine if we need to. Next, we'll look at some more useful commands.